What's up guys, it's Gone, and today we'll be looking at 5 trades for White Sox star Luis Robert Jr. going into the 2024 MLB trade deadline. With the White Sox over 30 games below 500, teams are beginning to call Chicago about their core pieces to add to their own teams, and the White Sox are responding, one of whom they are shopping is Luis Robert. Since 2021, Robert has been one of the most productive center fielders when healthy, batting .284, .328, .510 for a .128 OPS plus over his past 3 seasons, with 66 home runs and 321 plate appearances. The issue is, he's almost never healthy. 2023 represented his only full season where he played 145 games, and this year he's been out for months with the hip flexor strain, only returning recently. But when he is healthy, he's an all-star and fringe MVP candidate as shown in the 2023 season. And while he may not win a gold glove in center field, he's still a plus defender there and can possibly play corner outfield positions, in which teams may want to do if they want to preserve his health. Robert will have 3 more seasons after this one on his contract, making $42 million over that time period. So teams will be acquiring Robert not only for this season, but also for the next couple of seasons as well, meaning they'll likely have to give up a bit more than if he was a rental. And while it may seem counterintuitive for the White Sox to trade one of their best bats on an anemic offensive team, the prospects acquired from a Luis Robert trade will be more beneficial for them in the long run than holding on to Robert for the next few years. This video will look at the teams who will be most likely to go after Robert as a White Sox look for the best offer, as well as the types of prospects needed to facilitate a trade. But before we get onto this video, could you guys please hit the like and subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but it also would encourage me to create more videos like this one for you guys. And without further ado, let's get onto the video. Luis Robert Jr. could be one player the Orioles would want to target going into the trade deadline. Cedric Mullins has struggled mightily to begin this season, only with an OPS plus of 57 and has lost playing time to players like Colton Cowser, who are likely better suited for a corner outfield position. By acquiring Robert, Cowser could likely shift over to left or right field, where his 99th percentile arm strength could be a lot more useful. And if he were to move to left field, he would then replace Austin Hayes, who also has been struggling this year to the tune of a 79 OPS plus. Thus, the Robert trade kind of plugs in 2 holes in the long term, while also giving what is a dangerous lineup more insurance both now and in the long run. They also have the top prospects and farm system to facilitate a trade incredibly easily. In my trade, I have the Orioles sending over Heston Kjerstad and Connor Norby, both players who can boost the White Sox hitting, immediately becoming the 2 best players on the team, while also being expendable both now and in the long run within the stacked Orioles lineup. The issue here with this trade, however, is that I don't know if the Orioles brass really sees this as the move to truly bring the Orioles over the top. They're giving up some valuable assets here, and the O's may feel like another player would better synergize here with the team better and use these prospects somewhere else. The Braves are still a very good team even without Acuna, but questions certainly do arise regarding their ability to advance far in the playoffs without him. Luis Robert Jr. can serve as a replacement for Acuna, at least partly in right field, where Adam Duvall struggled following Acuna's absence with an 85 OPS plus. The addition of Luis Robert makes sense both missing and following Acuna's return, in which Robert can play the other corner outfield position currently manned by Jarred Kelenic. The issue in the short run, however, is that Robert will likely not be able to play that much DH in his time with Atlanta, given Marcell Ozuna's hitting prowess over this year. The other issue regarding a potential trade is the Braves have a pretty poor farm system, and it frankly does not synergize with what the White Sox need in bat-first positional players. And as a result, if they are looking to get a trade done, I can't see it happening without trading Jarred Kelenic. And in my trade, I have him along with AJ Smith-Shawver and Ignacio Alvarez Jr. to complete the trade. In my opinion, this is a slight overpay by the Braves, but the White Sox would much rather have a top hitting prospect in the trade, in which the Braves really don't have. And as a result, they likely have to overpay to get Robert to add in right field. As for the White Sox, Jarred Kelenic gives them a very solid bat to plug in left field right now, and as a former top prospect, Kelenic has the potential to be a star amidst the White Sox rebuild, also with the potential to be shipped off for further assets. Meanwhile, Smith-Shawver could likewise do the same in the rotation, while Ignacio Alvarez Jr. is a young shortstop prospect with a promising bat and developing glove, already in Double-A at only 21 years old. The only issue with this trade is the Braves really are just fixing one hole at the expense of another, and having to ship off Kelenic in the trade now means that left field becomes an issue. I can only really see this trade happening if it comes with another one for a left fielder, or even potentially a 3-team trade. The Mariners make a lot of sense regarding a potential trade with the White Sox for Luis Robert. The Mariners need help in their outfield and designated hitter positions really badly, and I can see them pushing hard for those two positions this trade deadline. Right now, they have Mitch Haniger playing right field with an 81 OPS plus, and Mitch Garver playing DH with an 80 OPS plus. Both of those numbers are pretty subpar, but when considering that both right field and designated hitter both tend to have above average offensive stats for their position, meaning that the Mariners have a real problem on their hands if those two don't start contributing offensively. Luis Robert could at least solve one of those problems, and I actually really like Luis Robert to the Mariners, given that they have an open DH slot. Robert can get the rest needed to ensure that he's healthy going into the playoffs, and for the rest of his career trajectory going forward. Another thing I like about a trade with the Mariners is that they have a very deep position player prospect pool, a perfect fit for what the White Sox are looking for long term. In my trade, I have Tyler Locklear, Michael Arroyo, and Aiden Smith heading back to the White Sox for Luis Robert. As I said before, the Mariners have an incredibly deep farm system when it comes to position players, so they make this trade without giving up any of their upper echelon position player prospects and still give a valuable package. Locklear is only 23 years old and posting an OPS above 900 in Double and AAA, immediately becoming the starting first baseman for the club long term. Meanwhile, Arroyo and Smith still have huge potentials but are in the lower levels of the minor leagues and will need time to simmer. If Luis Robert Jr. will be traded, it will most likely happen between these two teams. Starting with the Dodgers, who would most likely love to have their star center fielder in Robert adding to their ranks. At only $15 million a year for the next 3 years, Robert by no means breaks the bank for the Dodgers, but more merely takes the spot of Teoscar Hernandez's contract long term for them. As for now, he fills in the center field spot rather nicely for the club, potentially covering up what has been a tumultuous position for them this season. James Outman, whom the Dodgers hoped would be their young star, has struggled this year and has been sent down after batting 147, 250, 266. Andy Pages, the prospect called up to replace Outman, has been about league average, but the Dodgers would definitely love to have Robert added to add more pop and star power to make a deep lineup even deeper. They also have a farm system loaded with young talent and some on the major league roster as well to give. In my trade, I have catcher Dalton Rushing, Miguel Vargas, and Austin Gauthier heading back in the deal for Robert. So while the Dodgers add Robert to fix their current and long-term need for a center fielder and power-hitting bat, the White Sox get 3 prospects, 2 of whom in Vargas and Gauthier start immediately on the major league team, while Rushing simmers in the upper levels of the minor leagues as a power-hitting catching bat. Lastly, if there were any team that would be a better fit for Luis Robert than the Dodgers, it would have to be the Phillies. No other team has a contention window that better fits Robert's time coupled with a long-term need like the Phillies. Right now, both Johan Rojas and Christian Pache, while they may be good fielders, have an OPS below 600. Robert likely cannot play the same level of defense as either of the two, but substituting Robert's 857 OPS of last year turns one of the weaknesses on this team into one of its biggest strengths. Unlike the previous teams before them, the Phillies have a poor farm system, however, and will likely have to part with some of their prized prospects in order to get the trade done. However, having a real shot at winning the World Series always comes with a price, and Luis Robert fits too well with this team for them to pass up on this opportunity. To acquire the services of Luis Robert and truly fill out this team, the Phillies pay a hefty price of 2 of their top prospects in Justin Crawford and Aiden Miller. Miller has all the makings to be a star for the White Sox as a former first-round pick as a shortstop, but is only 19 years old and in Single-A, so he will need some time to develop. Meanwhile, Crawford is a speedy center fielder who could turn into a solid player if his bat-to-ball skills improve as a traditional leadoff type player. For the Phillies, although this is a steep price to pay, giving up first-rounders in 2022 and 2023, Roberts' bat in the middle of the lineup will do wonders come playoff time, and if they end up winning a ring thanks to Roberts' contributions, it would all have been worth it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. Let me know if there's another player that you would like to see me make a trade video on, or if you want me to make more draft videos or anything like that, and let me know in the comments down below. But I will see you guys in the next one.